Good day, viewers at home, especially the students preparing for the forthcoming SSC examination. I am Mr. Olajide Taufik, and I'll be taking you on English language. The topic for today will be summary. As you all know very well as students, summary is a very important aspect of your examination, and it's a question that every candidate must attempt. It's an important aspect, and we don't have any choice than to take your summary and other aspects of the English language. Therefore, I'm going to take you through on 3 aspects of summary. The 3 aspects are: 1, I'm going to take you through reading of your summary passage. 2, I will take you through understanding of your summary passage. And lastly, I'm going to give you the penalties involved in summary exercise. Now, let's start with reading. If you look at the board clearly, you realize that I have 3 aspects in reading. The first one says ability to read. In examination, every candidate must have the ability to read. Your inability to read is not an excuse in summary and even in comprehension. Therefore, I expect that every candidate that is preparing for the forthcoming examination should be able to read the summary passage fairly enough. Now, as a candidate, what are those you are supposed to do to be able to read very well? You need to concentrate in your reading. Concentration means you must avoid any form of distraction, either within yourself or around you. A good candidate who wants to pass summary enough should have adequate and extensive concentration of the passage. As students, please make sure you don't allow anybody to distract your attention from your passage. If you do this, you are going to lose touch of the meaning and the messages in the passage. Secondly, your reading style. In English language, we don't have any specific style of reading your passage or passages. The reading style depends on you as a candidate. But I'm going to use my own style to explain to you. In my own way, you are supposed to read your passage at least twice. Let me say it again, read your passage at least twice. If fortunately for you, you have been able to time yourself well enough, you can read the passage for the 3rd time. Now, in your first reading, what do? You want to get the general message of that passage. Don't forget, let me remind you, passages are often on contemporary issues. Don't be surprised that this year you might have a passage on COVID-19. You might have a passage on insecurity. You might have a passage on border closure. That means examination bodies will always give you contemporary stories. Therefore, don't panic. You will not be given any strange story in your summary passage. Now, you have done the first reading to get the actual message in the whole passage. Yes, the passage is on COVID-19. That is what they call general understanding of your passage. In the second reading, you want to get specific information concerning COVID-19. That means probably message, the paragraph will tell us the causes of COVID-19. Therefore, by the time you read your passage the second time, you will now want to get this specific information, these specific messages. Don't forget, every paragraph in your passage has its own message. Therefore, as a candidate, when you read your paragraph, pay attention and conclude that this passage has a message. If you could not get your message in that paragraph, then you have not been able to understand the paragraph. After being able to get your various points based on the paragraphs highlighted in the passage, then the next thing to do is to read your question. When you read your question, it will now give you opportunity to read for the 3rd time. The 3rd reading is to make you get other points that were locked in some of these paragraphs. In most cases, like I said earlier, each paragraph will have its own message. But in some cases, you might have a paragraph with 2 messages, with 2 ideas, with 2 points. Your third reading will now give you the opportunity to determine that locked point in that particular paragraph. Let me go to the second one, understanding of your passage. The first thing we must do is this. We have what they call topic sentence. In topic sentence, this is, in most cases, the first 2 sentences of your paragraph. In these sentences, you have the point to be discussed in that paragraph. Next, you have to take note of pointers. We have some words we call pointers in summary. These words are going to point to where the points are. What are those words we have? Words like in addition, words like also, words like again, words like in course of. These words are giving you, a clue to where the point or the points are. Now, the next thing to do is what? You now have to read your question and start answering your questions. Questions can be either 1 or 2, depending on the style that the examination body wants to use. I've been able to take you through 2 aspects of your summary, reading, and I told you, you have to have the ability to read. You must be able to concentrate enough for you to have a very good grasp of your message or messages. Then your reading style depends on you, but make sure that you read your passage at least twice. And don't forget to pay attention to your time. And then I also took you through understanding, where I told you, take care of your topic sentence, take care of the pointers, and then your vocabulary. Your vocabulary, in most cases, might not have effect, but don't forget that you need to understand these various vocabulary words. They also tell you, or they will be able to put you through on how to understand your passage. I'm going to stop here, and when I come back for the next session of this program, I will take you through other aspects of your summary. Thank you very much. See you in the next aspect. Thank you very much. You are welcome back again. In the last aspect, we treated summary. This time around, I want to take you through comprehension. Don't forget, these 2 topics are related. They all mean understanding of your passage. But this time around, let us see how to tackle our comprehension passage. Like I said earlier, it's also a very important and compulsory aspect of your question. Like I said the other time, the first thing is this: you must be able to understand your passage. Like I explained earlier, I'm going to reiterate what I said. Understand your passage. Those things I told you concerning your summary should be taken care of. Then, next one you have to take through in your comprehension is your grammatical names and the function. In this aspect, you'll be asked on grammatical names, you'll be asked questions on the function. I'm going to explain briefly on this. In this area, don't forget we have 3 aspects. We have noun clause or noun phrase, we have adverbial clause or adverbial phrase, and we have adverbial clause or adverbial phrase. If I come back again, I'm going to tell you more on this aspect. But don't forget, after asking you questions on understanding, the next question is going to be on grammatical names and the function. After that one, you'll be asked questions on figurative names and the meaning. That means you'll be asked questions on either simile, metaphor, irony, personification, and others. You'll be asked to state the figurative name, and then you will be asked to give the meaning. And the last part of your comprehension is what they call word replacement. That means you are going to choose your own words to replace the original words used in the passage. If you check your question very well, 1999 past question, you will realize that there are some words listed as the last part of your question. In this area, you are being told to replace the words there with your own words. Under grammar, I'm going to also explain better on this aspect, so I will not get you confused. But don't forget that in your comprehension, the first 4 questions or 5 questions will be on your understanding of the passage. The next question will be on grammatical names and function. The next question will now be on figurative names and meaning. And the last aspect will be on word replacement. All I told you, I explained to you in your summary, they are also applicable to your comprehension, because the 2 of them mean reading to understand your passage. And these 2 passages are very important, which you must always make sure you attempt them. When I come back again, I'll give you more explanation on another aspect of English language. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you one more time and welcome to the last part of today's lesson. And I'm going to take you to the penalties of summary and also explain the penalties of comprehension. Students at home, please, in most cases, most of you have good answers. Your answers are correct, but you have errors with your answers. These errors will take down or pull down your marks. Please take note of these errors. So as you write your answers in your summary, questions and comprehension, try as much as possible to avoid these various errors. In WAEC standard, these errors will always attract a deduction of your mark. The first error is this. WAEC and NECO accept that the examiner must deduct half a mark from grammatical error. What do I call grammatical error? Let me give an instance. In this answer here, I have social media encourages youth to waste valuable time. I say it again, social media encourages youth to waste valuable time. That's the answer for 2017 WAEC. Let's assume a candidate writes, social media encourage youth to waste valuable time. If you take it very well, this candidate has used plural verb instead of a singular verb. Therefore, he or she will lose half a mark. Automatically, he will have 4.5 in that particular question. The second penalty, deduct 1 mark for irrelevant or extraneous material at each scoring point. Most of you candidates, you write your answers, but you now embellish your answers with irrelevant ideas. In summary, you are expected to write exact answer as explained or mentioned in the passage. Any extra word or words added will attract -1 mark. Let me give you instance in that place too. Let's have this. In the first I give, I said, social media encourages youth to waste valuable time. Let me say it again. Social media encourages youth to waste valuable time. Let's now assume that a candidate wrote, social media encourages youth to waste time at home. Let me say it again. Social media encourages youth to waste time at home. At home is an irrelevant expression. In that situation, the examiner will deduct 1 of your mark. Eventually, that candidate will have 4 in that aspect of the question. The third one, award half of the allotted mark for answers not written in complete sentences. In summary, your answers must be written in complete sentences. This is a law. It is stated in the question. Because the question will always say, in 1 sentence, then it continues. Therefore, we expect you to write all your answers in summary in full sentences. Where you now decide to write phrases or clauses, you are going to have half of the allotted mark. What do I mean by that? If the mark for that particular question is 5 marks, you are going to be awarded with 2.5. Let me go to the next one. In summary, we don't allow verbatim copying. You are advised to use your own expression as much as possible. Where a candidate lifts directly from the summary passage, so a candidate will be awarded 0. Let me go for the next one. Now, you are advised to always make sure you adhere to the rules of the game. If the question says in 4 sentences, you are supposed to write only 4 sentences. Don't write 5 or more. Where you now find yourself writing 5 or more, make sure that all the 5 answers are correct. If not, 1 mark will be deducted from your answer. And let me tell you that you don't use pronouns to introduce your answers. Use the subject of that particular passage. Where you use pronoun and your first answer, you'll be awarded 0. The only area you can use a pronoun is where the subject of that summary has been stated. If it's not stated, you are going to have 0 because pronouns are often ambiguous and they can refer to anybody around. In the last aspect, let me remind you that after writing your answers, make sure you read over your answers to correct necessary errors. Thank you very much and have a wonderful time.